Oh, hello and a good evening to you all. Welcome to Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. I'm here with Sister Amajo. Amajo, how is the weather? Do you know it will be, it's going to be probably -3 next week, or -20, 30 something.
I just can't wait, but it's still boiling.
Oh my gosh.
Boiling like crazy.
Yeah.
But the good thing is it's February and very soon it will pass away. So hey.
That's what I always say. That is exactly every time I'm like, hey, you know what? We're good. It's almost over.
Yeah.
Oh, today is easy. All the groups. And why do I have this problem every time? Today is working fine just to share. So, yes.
My little one was, Mommy, I just can't wait for the cold to go away.
It will be here. Don't worry. Like, you know, today is the 11th. So by Monday, it's the middle of the month. And yeah, it doesn't take long. So here we go. So, yeah, I trust we're all doing very well. So last week, I thought of Valentine's Day coming up, and I just got this brainwave that we need to talk about a few things. So our topic today is, what has love got to do with it? Is love overrated? And you know, Tina Turner's song, I love that song so much. And
cool.
The disclaimer is that we are not here to bash love or to bash relationships or to bash marriages. Our main concern is the emotional health and well-being of women, and especially the young ladies coming up, what kind of messaging that we were giving that is bringing us to this place. And when we're coming into these relationships, do we put any value on ourselves? Do we even ask questions? Do we tell the other person what we want? So those are some of the things that we want to talk about. So Amajo, what are your thoughts on this interesting topic? Where do we start?
Love. I personally think there is more to love than just a feeling or emotions.
Yes,
that
is true.
That is my own opinion. I think I've grown so far to understand love in a different form of angles. And the first and foremost, you just have to have something before you can give. And because you have to have something before you can give, you have to have love. You have to love yourself. You have to understand what you are loving, what it is that you have in you before you can give it out. And for that reason, yes, there is more in love. That there is more into love than just a feelings or emotions. Yeah.
So, like, I've tended to look at it that love is an action. But do you find that when we talk about love in our amongst ourselves or in our culture especially, or even just a general society, love always seems to mean loving somebody else, meeting somebody, loving somebody else. It's never focused towards yourself. Do you realize that?
Yeah. And that is why I said I have come to understand. So it's something that you have to come to realization with.
Yes.
You can't tell yourself that I have this to give. What you don't have, you can't give. We we are people that are forgetting to realize all these things. If you don't
Which people are you talking about?
our kind, we know ourselves, our kind.
Okay, you won't mention
What
names.
you don't, yes, what you don't have, you cannot give.
Give.
And we as women, on the other hand, as the Bible said, they said, husband, love your wives. So to me, you have whatever love, the amount of love you give to me, that's what I will measure and add mine to it to give you. And as women, I still think that is who we love. The amount of love that will be pouring on us, that is what we bundle and give back to you.
But
So if
Mama
you
Jo,
don't,
I was going to interrupt you and say that the Christianese will come and tell you that no, that is, you have it totally wrong, and it's supposed to be
exactly,
unconditional love.
yeah. I would say some
Is
years
there
back, I
unconditional
did not.
love?
Yeah, I would say some years back, I did not understand it that way. So we have to. It's something we have to learn. It's something we have to find out. We have to understand to ourselves to see what it is. What are we involved in? What are we giving? And I am saying this. I'm so glad, Tia, you came up with this topic because there is this rich man.
Hello, sis.
Hello.
Welcome.
There is this rich man in Nigeria who has multiple wives, and I think 2 or 3 years ago got married to another small girl who have another small actress, and it became a very top of the town that he got married to that little girl. Recently, I read an article that he said that he's marrying the young girls so for them to stay away from prostitution. So now, what I wrote there was, so he's not marrying them because he's in love with them. He's only marrying them just to save them from going to prostitution. So you get it? So if you think about all these things, so does this man think he's doing them a favor by marrying them?
But Amaju,
Yes.
if he was really interested in their well-being, wouldn't he have used some of his riches and wealth to set up something for them, to train them to be something, or even send them to school to become self-sufficient?
Yes.
So
as
these are
well.
very
So meaning,
selfish. Those are very selfish motives. No.
yes,
No.
exactly my point. So I was okay. Then young girls, watch out. He's not marrying you simply because he's in love with you, but he thought he's doing you a favor, and then
Yeah.
you just give one child, two child, and then he will leave you there and move on to somebody else. Would that
Or
make
he
you
will
happy?
treat you. I'm enjoying that's all that he'll do, and it will be a peaceful situation. Fine, but because he's married you and he thinks he's doing you a favor, can you imagine the treatment you'll be getting during the course of the relationship?
Yeah.
So I'm
So
going to take
more.
it back. I'm going to take it back. You see, this is, and like I say, me, I'm not a theologian. I just love the Bible. This is why I always talk about why I do practical nyamisem, because you have to apply the word. And I got to a certain stage of my life, I said, all of us were just following Kasa. We don't think about what we read.
No.
The Bible says that you should love your neighbor as yourself.
As yourself.
Forget the neighbor. The neighbor is there. You have to love the neighbor. But how do you love the neighbor? As yourself. So if you don't love yourself, you can't love your neighbor. And we are seeing some of these things in our relationships. Like we say, people cannot give you what you can't give somebody what you don't have. So a lot of us, especially the women, you see, we were raised in this culture. Those days, I'll say back in my day, that, oh, everything is good, everything goody, goody, goody. But life is not like that. So it seems like, and then I'll add in the culture. The culture has not helped us because I said, we don't, did anybody teach us in the system, even in the school system, even you're at home? Oh, mommy, say, oh, they have their own issues, they have their own problems. But while you were growing up, you probably didn't know. A lot of us can tell you about the kind of lives or the treatments that their mothers were getting in their home situation. And like if this woman or Adrina, how are they going to have time to tell you that, oh, you know, groom yourself, be confident in yourself, believe in yourself, don't let anybody come and mess with you all in the name of love when they don't have anything, they don't have anything to offer you. We don't know these things. And once a culture and a warrior, so you are just groomed. And even look at how it was in the homes. The girls will be doing this, doing this, doing this. The boys are running around. When it's time to eat, they come and chop. So it's almost like we've been conditioned. You see, that's why
Yeah.
sometimes when I look at people I know, whether colleagues or whoever, who never married, I look at them and I would like to say that I would say sometimes you almost envy them because they have a choice. It was their
Yeah.
decision whether they wanted to marry or not,
Or
whether
not.
they wanted to
Yeah.
become baby making machines or not. They have a choice. It's not to say they may not have paid for it. Maybe there are some who wish that it had happened, but it didn't. But they are not killing themselves over it. And I don't think anybody is harassing them.
Yeah.
What do you say about all those pieces?
Yeah.
What do you say? Like, it's
Yeah. Auntie, I guess as you said it's a choice. So we
yes.
shouldn't just overlook or underrate anybody at all who doesn't
Mhm,
find themselves to be in that areas or whatsoever. It's all about understanding yourself, knowing
mhm,
who you are, and knowing
mhm.
what you stand for. So I
Do we
said
know
I don't want
that?
to get married.
Do we
Why should
know
us
this? Because
why should our society be pushing us and our campo the just as you said, very soon they'll be asking your daughter,
yeah.
but I'm telling
Oh,
you, as
I,
soon
I,
as you
I,
finish married, they will ask you,
Amajo, Amajo, they asked that
the
question. They asked that question. Oh, Dabena, like, is that all?
yeah, to
Is
us
that
that is
all?
all.
Because we have it that as soon as and I know there's the biological clock, there's this and there's that, but all of a sudden, push, push, push. Oh, Dabena, like, really? And so if you're not careful, you go and settle for anything. Look,
Our
myself.
demand has no bounds and it doesn't have a limit. Because even if they know you are getting married and you got married, they will not
Mhm.
let you be. Within a few minutes, they ask you, oh, when is the baby coming?
Then I
And
think
then
we need to learn
after,
to mind our own
oh,
business.
if baby is not coming, hey, so what is wrong with you? Why is the baby not coming? They will still push it out of you. And then if you finally have the baby, oh, that is just baby number one. You still have to go for two. When is the second one coming? So we see we have no limits. We have no boundaries on those things.
There's no
We just
boundaries, no filters,
yeah.
busybody, just minding
Yeah.
people's business. Yes.
Yeah.
But you know something? It's like you yourself as a human being and me, I didn't realize some of these things till I grew up because I said, in that environment, yeah, I'm not saying that it's general, but broadly speaking,
Mm-hmm.
because we're not taught certain things, you don't question things.
Mm-hmm.
You just obey or penny. Even right now, we have old people doing a whole bunch of evil things, but they'll say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, who did penny at them when you talk about it. So we use
Yeah.
penny to muzzle people and stop people from speaking up. So we were prevented from being ourselves. So we don't know who we are. And we're walking around. A lot of us have stuffed emotions inside
Yeah.
us, and we don't know
Mm-hmm.
how to deal with it. So when
We
we
do
meet
not,
people,
yeah.
the last time, I think Pastor P made a comment about people hurt people because they are broken inside.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll read this comment. Mamle says it's all about finding ourselves. If we do, we don't look at the outside. I get scared of losing my freedom at this point. I uploaded a video today on the fact that I used to bleach. We are conditioned to what we should perceive as pretty. Yeah, that is so true. I saw it, but I was
Thank
working.
you.
So I said I have to go back and look at that. Yeah, bleaching even is one thing that came into my mind that is something to talk about, but it's an extensive
Yeah.
topic. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
it's true. What
Thank
you
you,
say?
Mamle, because I also believe that freedom, they say, is very, very priceless. To me,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I enjoy my territory very well.
Yeah. It's it's like, sometimes you sit and you even look and say, if you had the option, would you have? But people come and say, oh, I so worry, I so yes. But
Yeah.
the way I look at life, there's more to life than that.
Too much.
You see, for me, it's not, I don't believe that the only role that I have in life is to stand in the kitchen all day long cooking. And you hear some women, they'll say, oh, I enjoy cooking. It's not that I don't, but I'm like, I don't need to spend the whole day doing it because I have other things that I want to do. I want to do me. The sacrifice now, also, you sacrifice and you sacrifice. Sometimes you don't even get anything in return. So what do?
Yeah.
And we are taught like we become, the women have, especially, we become like some sacrificial lambs be that we just, oh, this is, oh, one go school cry, we one go school one go
Yeah.
school, so you
Auntie,
know
yeah,
what.
yeah, no kwampo so it's not one cause go bra ba ware unkwan. E better some man the mudo mo school cry nya hwe nti mu de jai na wo nua ni nkosu and then you be the one to be farm. Wo nua na say school no cry na nya no be call farm wo you have to go to that farm. Come back,
Yes,
main food for the on baby no momu ko school no aba enjoy. By the end of the day
yes,
you are the illiterate or no economy.
yes,
Nti ours is so hard. Yeah,
it's
they almost
difficult.
seeking reaction. This tradition and culture, no, yeah, especially yeah,
Yes,
man, hitting and very hard.
yes, like Pamela is saying, marriage is not a topic that I am sure of right now. The freedom of choice. I don't want to be doing some things anymore in my life. I hear you. I understand. I
You are
understand.
talking my language. You are talking
Yeah,
my language, Mamle.
because it's got to be give and take on all sides, right? And a lot of times too, it's not, you can't, like, we have this fairy tale idea, and don't get me wrong, there are good relationships out there. There are good women and good men in good relationships, but with us, the cultural the training that we've had and the mindsets that we have, the relationship that we think of in a marriage situation or common law, whatever it is, it always seems to be like this. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm the man and you are this, and you're supposed to submit to me. And all kinds of things are going on in the name of love.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it going into these situations when you don't know who you are? Or is it that out of desperation, we feel that we have to be in these things? Like, I don't know.
Auntie, in a way, it's a society. I wouldn't even
You're right,
say
family. You're very right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's desperation. Desperation means you want it and you are desperate for it. But our
Yes.
society has a
No,
way of
no, no, no.
putting.
Amanda, I'll cut in a bit. I'm going to say there is desperation. There's an aspect of that. We have to own it, because there are some women who are so desperate, they just get into these situations and they are treated so badly because of the sake of, I want to be a missus or I want to have a man. And sometimes we get into these situations, the men come into these relationships, and then they do things even to people's children, those kinds of things. So there's an aspect, like, if we are taught that as a woman, you're also valuable, you are aware, and we're not talking of women that, oh, blah, 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 so I'm better than anybody, but your own self-worth, self-respect, and you bring something to the table. You have to value yourself before you go and give yourself over into something. But if we
You
don't,
said the naysayers. The naysayers have made a whole lot of people like that. Everybody is feeling, hey, what is he going to think about me? Hey, what are they going to say about me? Hey, I'm 40, I'm still not married yet. What impression am I going to give out there? I remember even before I would get married, I had my son before I got married, but I was together with my ex for 4 years before even having my son. But I remember when I got home to go get married, a job held my eyes back here for quite a while, and I was back home waiting. I remember I have to postpone my wedding date twice because the month he promised to come, we couldn't, and then I have to shift the date again, something like that. But there's those things when something will talk to you, like you listen to yourself. The thing was talking to me that what am I even wasting time here for? Let me just go. Whenever it happens, it's happened. It shouldn't be by force because I am just that type. I made my own decisions and capitalize on them. But this time around, I was in Ghana. So one day I just got up and I was busy packing my bags. So my sister-in-law came to the room and was, why are these bags packed? I was, I think maybe by next week I should be going though. I don't want to wait anymore. She went out, and then before I realized the entire family heard the whole thing, and they all have to come in. Oh, come on! You don't have to do that. You already have a son, and then this man has agreed to come and marry you, and everything is ready, and that is why you want to give it up and go. You can't do do you get it? So it's like they are all talking. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I waited. I will say I waited, and then the date came, and finally my ex came, and I got married. Well, beautiful, whatever. And then they want to take the credit that, oh yeah, you see, we talk, and then she listened, and then she said, but it was ever the worst decision I ever made in my life.
Was it them coming into the relationship?
I am beating myself for not just standing my feet and saying, you know what, hey, I mean, nobody forced me to come here. So what am I even doing? I am still beating myself up today for just listening to. It's not one person, it's not two person, and it's not three person. But the fact that I felt like I listened to them and it was my mistake, you know, it hurt a lot. Like for the first time, I wanted to listen to somebody and not to make my own decision. This is what happened to me. I'm still beating myself after that. So yeah, it just the things and the things around it, the pressure and the way they think, and the way they will make it seem. I'm saying even at my wedding, I have to say no. Nobody is having 2 days for no wedding. It just have to be one day. When it's morning, it's like I have to be so familiar. Some no, want some do, and then one quiet lawyer. You can be now. Yes,
you see, because everything is just like that. Be laid back. You are not in my pocket. You are not in my pocket.
I have to be so firm. I was no. We are having just one day. Oh, I had a Yanis. I was no, it got nothing to do with Momo and Yanisa. And Yamona Moya, a men the way I want. I have to be, and I feel like everything I was arguing and I was fighting my way out. Or somebody have to choose that. Oh, this is the place where you have to have it. And I'm saying no. I don't want it that way. It's mine. You see how hard it is?
Culture influence of the culture, pressure.
Yes, it's so hard. It's so hard. You have to fight your way out. I have to fight that day that there will be no Saturday traditional marriage, and there will be no Sunday. We are doing it one day. Traditional marriage, they said they do it in the morning. Morning, this is auntie. Morning at this time you should be there. They was, what are you? I said yes. That is how it's going to be. In the afternoon at 2 o'clock, the wedding is our white wedding is happening, and that is how it. That's how I got through, and they couldn't even believe it. But by the end of the day, I feel like,
Hello, message. Welcome. Let me read Mamle's comment. Welcome. And the aspect that a woman thinks I got pregnant, so I must be married to him rather than co-parenting in a healthy manner. That is exactly, that is so true. Yeah.
They will make sure they are around you, and they will think you have to take this without respecting your own opinion.
Yes.
Like I said, we don't listen. There's a reason why I'm still saying we don't listen to the other side to see reason of whatever it is that they want to say. We just want to influence what we are saying on them, and we want them to accept it, and that's it.
So I don't know, right? It seems like this whole idea of love, and love is supposed to be a beautiful thing, but then it's like we put ourselves into some inkwasum because of pressure. Like, you know, you like maybe I'm a cynic, but that's not how I mean to come across. But yes, sometimes you can't help being cynical. A lot of times you see on Facebook that so and so engagement, then you see the bride to be or the whoever, and then 5 or 6 women all dressed in similar, and I'm saying, hey, now when you know, it's like it's almost like it's some fairy tale. We get ready for the wedding. But after the wedding, marriage, we are not thinking about it. So although we are been to me, it's all about the show.
I
Yeah.
feel the
But
love itself has lost its meaning. I won't lie to you.
does anybody talk to you about expectations or in the marriage? Even when you go for this counseling, they don't talk about everything. Do you get what I
I
mean?
didn't even I actually canceled that. I was no, there is nothing you're going to cancel me about because I do not see anything they are going to say apart from the counseling. I think only favors the women. I will not, I wouldn't mention them for people that hear it to say, oh, this is what you think. But I know that
Mhm.
I I was my family house was a place where the other church, the Pentecost church, people have to have their marriage. There was an elder and whatsoever living in our family house. So whenever they group people for them to go get married, it's our house that they come to have their marriage counseling, which
Mhm.
normally takes place for like maybe a month or maybe 2 weeks, if I'm not forgetting the period they come. But all that
Mhm.
I know is throughout that whole week that they will come, there will be a chair for them to sit down and be waiting, and then they will be calling them to come in and to be cautioning them and all that. But because most of the time I have to
Because
help
right
with
there,
serving them water and all that. And all the things that I hear is all about the women, and there is no caution for a man. Those are what I heard when I was little. That
mhm.
time I wasn't ready to get married. So to me, it wasn't something. But if I could remember the sayings and the things they said, it was all about women do this, women do that. It's all about the women, and the men are just left alone. The same way they were brought up that, oh, people should go to the kitchen and the men will be working doing their own thing. The same way they are counselors. So I personally, I refuse counseling. I've already been
So
with this man for 4 years. I have a child with him. What are you going to counsel me now that I haven't done with this man already? That was what I told them. So I personally refuse it.
Obiatro comment, you'll see interesting topic, but the real truth, love is illegal and emotion is fraud. Please, what do you mean? That's a new one.
I agree 100%. Emotional
Oh,
is fraud.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, you
that's
see,
what I mean.
the thing
That's what I
about
mean. That
the
love
thing
has
about
lost its
yeah
meaning.
before no is we don't understand it, and our relationships are full of so much deception.
No,
If you are
yeah.
with somebody and you don't love the person, you should just be honest and say it. But with the
No,
kuku
we
kuku,
don't.
then you just go and get
We
attach
don't.
yourself to them because upe paper na bibintino there no then you break their heart and go and bring the real person. So we are very deceptive because from childhood we've not been taught to own our own stuff. We don't know how to confront. If you
Yes.
speak the truth, like somebody like me who likes speaking the truth, they say, oh yeah, you should be like everybody. Oh, a woman should be docile. Teachers say, no. So now the show. A lot of women are doing and it is
Yeah.
so bad. It's so bad.
Love has lost its meaning. Our people are people don't
Conditioning relationship.
our people are people do not want to accept that you can fall in love and fall out of love. Our people
Mhm.
are we seem to be people that are so judgmental that okay, so what do you mean by you fall out of love? But it's possible because love is supposed to be nurtured. If you don't nurture it, it die, and if it dies, it's dead.
Say,
But we don't get
your ears are magnets. Hey, Nana Kose. Uh-huh. Welcome.
Yeah, if it's dead, it's dead. Love itself lately has lost its
Mhm.
meaning. Yeah, it's supposed to be something that is supposed to be compassionate. It's supposed to be a bond. It's supposed to be something that have to be happening between two individuals that understand
Mhm.
each other and maturely
Mhm.
growing. But it doesn't happen like that anymore. It's all about what I will gain from you or what you will gain from me or it's
Yeah.
complicated
Like sometimes
nowadays.
I tend to say that some of the men, oh, I'm the man type thing. It's like, then is it a maid service that you're looking for, or are you looking for a
Yeah.
partner, somebody to be
Uh-huh.
together with, and
Yeah.
so there's those dynamics too.
Yeah,
But for
just
myself,
recently.
I'm very
Just
worried too for the young ladies because And I mean, what example? What example are we showing them? And you see, it's a catch-22 situation, because you don't want to go to the extent that you teach a young lady to become so rigid that they keep saying no, no, no to potential suitors. But at the same time, no, they need to make sure that whoever they are settling down with is the right person. But you can't jump into these relationships if you don't have any self-esteem. You don't know who you are. A lot of women, we hear of lots of women going into relationships. Oh, may boy on work or school. Then they help the man, they help the man. When the man finishes, he wants a woman who suits his new social status. And it's not you who's been slaving away for him.
Yeah.
So you need to be with somebody who thinks the same way you do, that, okay, I'm doing this, but maybe you should also be doing that. So when I finish this, oh, okay, tune over. When I finish this, this is what you also can do, so that you are growing together. You have to have goals. But yes, mitifie na manu aduane na maye me ho basa si ho make no kwa adwuma. Like there are some people, like, or some women to get into the trap of having kids just to trap a man, because they figure that if they only have one child, the man can live to 4 5.
Yeah.
Maybe the man too doesn't want to be in
They,
that situation.
they are actually
That is
advertising that.
cosmetic love, which we have vested interest. No, that is true. Cosmetic
Cosmetic
love,
love,
that
oh
is,
my
yeah,
God.
it is true.
Well,
Yep.
there is actually an advert. There is somebody in Ghana that keeps saying, don't just go give birth, but give birth to a man that will take care of you. And to me, if you are
Mhm.
saying give birth to a man that will take care of you and that will take care of your child, so you have to go look for a man who
Hello,
is
sis.
taking care of.
Welcome.
You have to go and look for a man who is taking care of his children for you to know that he can take care of you to go give birth to. And I'm saying, if any young girl hear this, he thinks it's okay for for her to go have something to do with a married man. That is simply
Mhm.
because he sees that the married man is taking care of her children and taking care of the wife. So I think I disagree with that counseling or whatsoever that is
Mhm.
going on. But they're the
Mhm.
same. We happen to be people that are refusing a change so much. And on the radio station where I listen to the Five Live Radio in the after somewhere in the morning that I listened to lately, there was a topic that was brought up that a guy asked a lady to move in with him. And his reason was, you have to move in with me for me to see study you to see how good you are before I will marry you. And right away I was very wrong, because very wrong, because that guy is only looking for a maid, come wash my things and cook for me to see how serviceable you are. That is all he wants. You see, and those are the
Go
impression
find
we
the
give
maid.
out there.
Yeah.
Yes, he only want a maid. He doesn't want you. It's got nothing to do with that, because I can stay with him for 10 years. And if I don't want you to know me, you're not going to know me.
Mhm.
So, yeah, of course, Auntie, love is overrated, and it's simply because it has lost its meaning. It's as simple as that.
Well, the thing about it is that you yourself, you need to love yourself. You need
Yeah.
to find yourself. But a lot of us don't. Sadly, there are some mothers even who push their daughters into these situations. Oh, kowari papa we or isikeni. Like the man, instead of, it's like,
He's capable of
because,
taking
and I
care of
don't know
you.
if I don't know if it's because of the environment or here reference.
Oh, yes,
I
I know the
don't know what
home.
it is.
I know the
So
home. That is
that
that
is
is a
very
packet.
offending. So it's
Mhm.
equal now. After he finished tasting, yeah, he's finished milking the cow, right? But you see,
Very
that's
true,
what I'm saying.
mommy.
That is the culture and the value that is put on women. Because no matter who you are, just the way, there's a certain perception. It's like, okay, obadi, it's what we go by. And
Yeah.
I don't know. We've settled. Like for me, I think it's important that you have to know who you are, know yourself. Like, some of our mothers too, our parents, nyamesum, pray, but they don't they'll be praying, pray for my child to have good marriage. But they don't sit the child down and talk to the child and teach the child about the real facts of life. What am I saying? Yeah, because for me, like I'm saying, if now I look back, and it's not to say, our parents, they do what they know best how to do. What, they do the best that they can. And this is no slam on my mother or any woman who was in my life growing up. But I'm just saying that if we have that environment where you were able to be talking openly, and I knew more what I know now, maybe some decisions or choices I made, I wouldn't have put up with a whole bunch of stuff. But he said, oh, you are this age. When you reach this age, you are supposed to this. When you get here, you are supposed to that. So when it's not happening, then they are chirping, and when is it going to happen? Hello? Yeah. Sometimes you need to leave people to live their lives.
Yeah,
many men and women seem to misunderstand genuine true love with desperation, dysfunctional mindsets, last grief. Of course, foolishness has to come.
And of course, your foolish will come in.
It is true. You see the word I said, desperation. We are so desperate. My desperate has me warranty at any means of any me not for phone in our worry. Other than me, worry. Then they are going to mount
our society put it there. I find myself in that situation too. I got married late. And all those times that my friends were getting married and I was being godmothers with some of them's children, even those that were married would say, oh, so why are you not settling down? It's them. The society will make it like that without not respecting your view or your boundaries that, so happy at the right time or something. They don't. I don't think that is why in our white society, if they are not married, that is why anybody will be pushing it on them, because they know that it's entirely your decision. I don't think that is why any of my white friends were busy asking me when am I getting married or whether I was getting, but it was just among us, my own people, that will be pushing me and be telling me all those things. So it's what brought the desperation is the way they ask you and they see the way they picture you, or the way somebody they will say it to spice you. You see, so that will be a way for you to start being desperate and go do whatever it is that you do not even want to do, right? They should let people be. They should respect people's boundaries.
So I tell you, and always say self-work, self-care, self-value, self-discipline, self-respect, self-confidence, self-control, basically self-everything. Yeah, we were saying that earlier, that we have not understood that in order to be you have to be all this before you go into a relationship. You need to know who you are, but we are not taught to love ourselves. We are just taught to be sacrificial. Oh, famano. Oh, yes, say give and give. So you give all of yourself away. And then sometimes, if you are not careful, you find that you've gone and cast your pearl before swine, and they trample on it and turn on you. If you are not putting value on yourself, who's going to put value on you? And like you were saying before, Amajo, in the culture, and you said when you heard the people coming for counseling, it was always the woman. Remember, many a time have I put on different platforms saying that, so everything the woman, who is training the men?
Nobody. They don't deserve to be trained. And that's why we are where we are.
So it's like our so into no kwan so bibia oso nkola no oso wei oso aduane no oso yo okọ adwuma aba no wa begina ho nso papa ne de oso ne kunu te ho hwe TV 24/7. Yeah. It takes work, and it's working for Ajwa. Ajwa, they are talking about you. Everything are all very essential in one's life. Yes. So if you have a message for a young girl, what message would you give a young girl growing up?
Love yourself. Do you first. I am still repeating myself. Love yourself. Do you first. Now, I'm so glad you brought.
What do you mean by do you yourself?
you yourself is do what will be best for you self before you think, because until you learn what will be good for you first, you can't do good on others. Now, talking about these young girls,
Is
and I
it?
told you the girls' school that I was before, Jane Forster Girls' School, it's a Catholic school in Edmonton. They are all girls, and they have uniform that they put on. Some of the girls, some of the junior girls that I had about 2 years ago, would they didn't like their uniform. According to them, when they are in their uniform after school and they take the bus, the boys will not look at them. But if they are in their home attire, that is where the boys will be looking at them. So I came home thinking about it. I needed a better explanation to them. So I thought about it a little bit, and then the next day I had them again at a I think at the music, and the music teacher wasn't around, so we got a little chance to talk. And this is how I said it: I was stop feeling shy about your uniform, because this is what you have now, and the uniform is signifying that you are in a certain stage of life whereby you are undergoing a training which fits the uniform for you. Once you are no more in the uniform, meaning you will be in college or you'll be in a higher place whereby you can afford your own clothes. I think when I said that, they didn't get me well. Then there was a day that came that it's the bullet day where you pay $2 and you can put on a hat and your own clothes. That day happened. So those girls have their hat on and their own clothes. And as a matter of fact, most of them, all those that do not want to wear their uniform but rather the house clothes, they ended up to be those that did not have any good clothes at all to put on. So as you see how important, I told them, you see how important it is to put on your uniform, because I saw most of your clothes, most of them were not good at all. When I was at your age, I wouldn't wear those clothes for school or anything. And then they were looking at me like this. Well, I just throw it out there and I go. 2 years ahead of time, I met one of them at one of the grocery shops. She was looking at me, and I think I know you somewhere. And then he went away and said, "Hey, Miss A." I was, yes, it's Miss A. So we did our hire and all that. She was, Miss A, remember when you said that is how we have to love our clothes and all that? You see, now it's like I spend a lot on my clothes, and I'm still. Anytime I go into my closet, I think about you. You said we should enjoy our uniform, but there will be time for food. And I'm so happy that it's sticking to her head, and now she's talking about it. So yeah, young girls, at this point in time, wherever you are, you do you first on that. What will be good in you on
Amajo,
that
you
kind of
commercial, then
environment?
you tell them what do you mean when you say do? How do they do them first? You have to explain. Commercial
Okay.
break, people. So we're back. That is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. You can get your copy on Amazon, Friesen Press, Barnes and Nobles, and Google Books. It's a good book. It will bless you, inspire you, and motivate you. So we're doing these programs, and that is how you can support us. Also, another way that you can support us is this.
Giving us a feedback.
Write a review on our page, please. We've been doing these programs since, last May. So just write a review on the page about how the program is helping you. Just give us some feedback. Okay, Ajodo, I've sent it. All right. There were some comments. Okay, let me see. It says, I think there are some things we don't know. They are untold stories. That is true. And then Osaji says, understanding the imperfect nature of humans is key. Greed has been institutionalized in our society. Everybody has a vested interest which drives their behavior. The few that try to exhibit organic love are seen as wasting their time or not smart enough. Thank you for saying that. I was talking to my daughters this evening and I made that same exact comment that, when you are a good person or you've been raised in a good way, it seems almost like you go out there and you meet the sharks and they go, well, it's like they make you feel like there's something wrong with you because you are not like them. And that them is the greed and all that stuff. Now, he says, thanks for your efforts. Many have come before. They were not Ghanaians. So they're doing you. It's like, find people who don't just go with the flow just because everybody else is sleeping around to get ahead. That is what we need to get away from, teaching women that the only value they have is to be somebody's side chick or to be using their akosua kumano to get ahead. Like, when women are being groomed, they are taught these things, these feminine wows. You go kwa so you say. And some have learned it to a T, and they go to these medicine men and whoever and getting charms and concoctions to trap men. And I'm like, is that all? Is that all? Is that all? Like, you're a human being, you were born on this earth. With a purpose. Just because you are born as a woman in a particular part of the world and just the way the culture sees you does not mean you are less than. You're also a human being with potential and you bring something to the table. The man also brings something to the table and you build together. But it's almost like, no, this is what we've been reduced to. So anybody who goes above that, any woman who's trying to make, any true known, be or to say, I think the truth will come from them, women. Mamle says exactly. I always tell people that what is unusual is to meet a genuine, honest, and loyal person as a partner. What is normal is the junk out there. Yeah. A vested interest. I like Osaji's comment that people come with that vested interest.
Yeah. Because of what they are coming to get, because that was the impression given. Forgetting that it's supposed to be give and take. So when they are giving, and they couldn't give anymore, it's a problem. And if you also take, and you can't take anymore, it ended up being a problem. It shouldn't be persuasion. We should understand ourselves very well. If you're a young girl out there, learn doing yourself first and doing what is best for you. If you are in school well.
Hello, sis. Working. Welcome. It's like, do something with yourself. Yeah, hello. Do something with yourself instead of looking to a man to come and
thinking that definitely you have to marry before,
Listen.
Shoot.
You guys are doing awesome job, but to say sometimes, and the crowd they looking at me phone that me chain me who say more soon I'm say and let the menyamu life because they be a so be all my famada. Sister Sage Afomutu saying, hey, Sister Yoko God's love. Brother Nana Cove say ventures. Hey, Brother Nana Cove say ventures. Some of you know, ye programs moba ever support so ever contribute to yada mase. So I have some more brother yame. Say ba ye mine.
Yes. Yeah, you are right.
Any nipa eti ye mine mu. Nani mema awofo mpanyinfoɔ nkwalaa chale si yɛntimi ɛnya mmerɛ ama yɛ ho yɛankyerɛ yɛ ho adeɛ anaasɛ yɛanhwɛ nneɛma mu yie. Social media is so huge. We have inspirational speakers, motivational speakers, and we have the most foolish.
Oh.
I says, "Say one when you and that no one when you call who see ya. Wouldn't some phone by Eduma?
Yes.
Say a bow or da.
Mm.
Esa say you move brave, any send me or dot here.
Mhm.
Then me or don't my honey and tea and who are sintino. A bow or bassema. On Tiasia. Obi need
And of course, you have to come here.
the coldness in this New York, Hano. Na be say 4 days ikura me nsi abonten. Me ye adwuma free fie.
Now, what was it there? I want
Why are you not being fair? You're not being fair.
You people are just whining and crying for nothing.
Minus 3.
I no pay.
Minus 3. No musinyo.
I no pay me ye adwuma me shemi jacket inside day. Na me shemi jacket. Literally. After ni aso heat na chesa ha say aye yina meto agu baby. Or just say obi edo ne say si.
I say kakra.
My cousin bit Germantown. Them says about 1 hour out of Washington DC. Now years ago, my best ramna me say ni krumbi bi na make as mo there. I walk a craba most state of emergency. Mo mara hankola eco school. I'm a job driving in Marco school.
For the past 4 or 5 days now. For the past 4 or 5 days now, you were minus 40 in the morning.
That's crazy.
Kakrana Kobe somewhere 37, 38. And then the US minus 3.
Minus 3, minus 9, 10 almost.
Charlie, yeah, baby, a woman, no, I won't horse. It's in the media. You don't matter, send them.
You're inviting us into the freezer.
So I go feel them. I go feel it, eh?
I just ask them, Nyanko.
On say, ye movie no. Ye do ye say, ye who can forward sika. Ye be monsu do ye who can for bear mason. E be monsu do ye who can forward japade. Ye monsu do ye de chere me ano no ya mfa antete.
Yes.
It won't ya. That ocean no memo oh te senka ye mu bebre e de ye ni beto form ni ehia coping skills ni o ma beboa yen me wo mu say ye ma no ye were a lot of problem dysfunctional mindset problem but efie bia mu no entity ya ye nya ye no enye kura kakra ye enti de eye no ofa na ni enye no otokre no ahia foforo na ade akande ebua wo no ba yenye mu bi no ye hu ade foforo ani ato dada na kone so ye nso dada no mu ebua ye no ye mmoa ye no mum no ene ebesom because ye mba bi ye mema no bi di enimu ye ne say ye hu say sister Amajo abaso na yi waboni ti no waye say nti no ye wo ho asamoka si ye beba ko di nkonkonsa no ye obi anu omo mudi nkonkonsa omo ntonkuni ade e mwa enso won ntonkuni wo de aka ne habit ho so ene e wo ko anokure de nokure ay they are pathological lie otimi twa ntra na ne ntra wo twa nokure no kure mpon wo gidi wo mu se entra wo twa na ye nokure so ene e wo bi no nso a wodo no woni modo because any who dare ye no nti no wo the lost akoye wodo
yeah
nti no na mesi senka odo ye timi di odo eto aduane si table so anka me di odo ne rough inki be timi ya me bela ka me di rough and you maybe wo ho no ma when it comes to feelings now you have to feel it within because odo enya ade bi a eye say e manipa koya omo
According to Albert Einstein, 2 things I find out: the universe and man's stupidity.
Charlie, I go salute you.
Yes.
And say, ena Your chrome for no to be no platform I can okra so any nyansasem.
Adwoa.
You use emotional intelligence.
Your chrome tis overcome brofo kakra.
Oh, okay, no problem. Oh, I am so sorry. I did not realize. I was saying, some of us, our love is, how the men's you know what, genital, the size of it is odo. How they perform is odo. The money they have is odo.
It's love.
Lust. Because they have like they go enjoy the sweet bedroom performance. It's odo.
That's it.
Yeah, they don't really understand true love or genuine love.
Adwoa, let me catch in kakro. Do you realize too, sir, in the society in which we are, it seems like that's what women are groomed, like, that's what you are told. And a woman thinks all that they need is their body, feminine wiles, anything to, or they better to trick a man, and that's all that they are bringing to the table.
That's right. That's right. I mean, like, and that's what I said. Even if we are programmed wrongly, right? We still have the opportunity to deprogram ourselves and reprogram ourselves by learning different coping skills, new coping skills that are really beneficial and it will add to our life. A lot of our people wants to be saved. They want other people to do all the work and solve their problems for them. This is the mindset of majority of people within our community and society. It's like nothing is their problem. Nothing is their fault. We have people having 4, 5, 6 children based on their uncle has money. So their uncle will help them raise them. You have a lot of women who will sleep with lazy, broke ass men.
Yeah, we were talking about
They will
this.
expect their uncle or their brother to take care of their children. I mean, who asked you to go sleep with a lazy, unresponsible, broke ass man? You chose your partner, so you deal with it. You bring these children in this world and you cannot offer them nothing because both you, the woman who choose to have 4, 5, 6 children, do not have anything better to do but to open your legs because you don't have any successful job or money to take care of yourself. You depending on men. But you dating men who have no purpose. Their foolishness and nonsense and excuses. Someday things will change. Let me tell you something.
You
In
want
order
me
for
too?
things to change, you have to put in an effort. There isn't anything in this world that is good without hard work. Because if you are giving $1 billion and you choose not to work and spend that money without anything growing into it, that money is going to
disappear.
finish. So everything we do, you have to be able to make decisions after decisions. I mean, like my cousins, my family members, my friends, people who knows me for real. Don't tell people and don't think, say, I'm in abroad. So it's my business to take care of you. I'm sorry, I beg. When you were sleeping with your boyfriend or your man, was I there doing the atopa? Was I being the one trusting? No. My children are my responsibility and my husband's responsibility. When my husband and I decided to have sex or do whatsoever, we chose to do that. So it's our responsibility to take care of our children. It's not my mother's. It's not my brother who has a lot of money, and my brother has a lot of money. It's not my sisters who are responsible for them. It's our responsibility. So if you do not have the financial means to take care of your children, then don't have children. Do not have sex. If you're going to have sex, family planning, or have your man, or we have women condom, you use it. People claim they love someone, yet their action tells a different story. And I know the one excuse that our men cannot resist saying, oh, in our culture and tradition, men are, a man can sleep with more than one woman or so. Really? You can be with multiple partners, have multiple children, but your broke ass cannot take care of either of them. You're expecting the woman's family to take care
in life, you have health challenges, and then you'll be sick and broken, and then some woman has to spend their time coming to look after you. So, whatever you do right now, you pay for it later. If it's good decision, you reap the harvest. If it's bad decisions, you reap the harvest. But poor, unsuspecting, desperate women, we fall into those traps time after time.
That's right. That's the reality. That's the reality. But most of us don't want to accept the reality, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. The three things that our community society are good at, okay? Giving excuses, giving reasons, blaming games, okay? We are so good at it, and we do have more than half of us who will be in supportive of it, who are receptive to it. So let me see. If my job is not going well and I'm not doing my job right and I get fired, I can go and blame it on Sister Ama Joe, because it's like, that's what's up. Yeah, she gave me a bad advice. Like, if someone gives you a bad advice and you take it, at the end of the day, who made the decision? You did.
You did.
That's why everything needs to come in. When you learn to discipline yourself, being outside your home, being outside your home, and or being in the community, you will discipline yourself with your words. You will discipline yourself with everything, and you will be more willing to learn different things. Our community, listen, some of us talk about how wicked other African countries are, right? But I kid you not, I was talking to my mom today and I said, you know what? When it comes to our community society, we are the most wickedest people on earth. And the reason why I said that, when it comes to getting into wars and fighting, we are pussies. Okay, none of us wants to fight, because nobody, like, they will go start the problem. It's like you start the fire. Yes, you start the fire, but you don't go all the way in, right? But when it comes to the wickedness part and the evil, let me talk. The blame is here. When you come to the wickedness and the evil part, right? We have some people within our community society that tends to be greedy, be jealous, be envious, be selfish in so many ways. But what they do is not just with words, they go with actions. Because we have some family member who has taken their own children, their own family member, a friend who has a husband, a good husband, because the friend has a good husband. Let me kill my friend, this way I can have the husband, okay? Or like, let me kill my cousin. If my cousin does not exist, I might be able to get the money that they have established. Let me kill my brother or my sister. So it's like we use juju, voodoo to do things, right? But we all know with all this stuff, at the end of the day, you're going to pay for it, because the Bible says we will reap what we sow. And when you bounce a ball to the wall, it doesn't stick to the wall. It bounces back, right? So many people, I just don't know. I think that sometimes God, he takes too long to punish people. But we all know that one day is his is 1,000 days for him, and 1,000 days is 1 day for him. So how we think and how God thinks is totally different, because he's the God who have unconditional love, right? He doesn't select. It don't matter how bad, wicked that you are. He loves everybody the same, but he's a jealous God. His jealousy does not go to the limit. It does not go to the level as humans' jealousy, right? Because with our jealousy, we will kill. We will kill each other just to gain something that does not belong to us. And that's the simple fact. Like, sometimes the way some people talk, the way some people gossip, the way some people lie, manipulate, do 419, a Ghanaian 419 person will tell you, I was taught by a Nigerian man. Meanwhile, the Nigerian man did not force you to do it. It's in your head. You just was motivated
on it.
So you took the motivation to go all the way, but then when you get caught, you're going to say, oh, you know what? I did this because this person taught me that. And then somebody will be like, well, if you didn't go with this person, that wouldn't have happened. No, that is a bad dude. That is their poor characteristic.
Other one, just listen. We don't accept. We only blame.
It's not my fault. Or we are prepared to believe the worst of each other. Like the Adobe anymore. The heart is so wicked now. You can't trust anybody, and it's affecting everything that we do, our relationships, everything. And our children are watching.
Of course, children are very observant. A lot of times we don't realize how our children are observing us. They know when we're happy. They know when we are troubled. They know when we are lying to them. Because, like, if I didn't come to you as I wouldn't have known. And, I learned this through informal and formal education. Our facial expression, how people go about things, how people talk, and even our hands gesture. Someone could be watching us right now, and the person will be able to describe us to the T. This person is lying. Depending how you moving your hands, your eyes are rolling. Like, a lot of times people cannot speak the truth. And I have learned to study people, because the work I used to do before, now what I'm doing is like mostly paperwork, and I'm making phone calls, and I do visit. But with the COVID, visit has been seized. So everything is conference call and stuff like that. But prior to this work, I was working with young men from age 4 to age 16, sometimes to 18. And you have different behaviors, all right? And you have to learn to identify each child, their trigger. You have to learn to figure out each child, what works for them when they are triggered, and how to keep them in their safe place, right? And also how to mediate between the two or one person with 3-4 people, because some of the kids will provoke other kids. Even though they can't fight, they provoke because they know staff is going to step in to prevent the group from beating them. So it got to a point, I learned certain kids who would do that because they were expecting me to step in. Once they realize what I have cut on to them, they stop, because you hear some of them say, Miss Amelia is just going to say stop. If you don't stop whatsoever, and then once you can get into a fight, we will break you guys up. We will do mediation, and then the two of you will do restorative work. Restorative work will include writing a letter of an apology, taking accountability. You're going to lose out 2 incentive days. So if you you were scheduled to go on a trip. That trip is done. You're not going because of your unsafe behavior. So what kid will act out just to not go for his trip? Sometimes some of them, we realize that the only reason a child will act up not to go outside, go on a trip, is that something must have happened. They have a trauma. Something happened in between going out in the community. So like every time they learn something. Yes.
Am I running call grocery now? Or try garbage, the boy garage, no day. You go from maybe baby, I'm meeting him from maybe who are family. What you hold 9?
Sister, I tell you, you guys need to let me cry my cry because I can't deal with cold though. I can't deal with cold. Sometimes
I'll wait until the weather is minus. Then I will send you your ticket for vacation. Let me see if you refuse or you are coming.
Yeah, because sometimes Kay will be like, I don't get you. Because at times I will ask the kids, aren't you guys cold? They'll be like, no. And I'll ask their dad, you guys not cold? They'll be like, no, because I'm trying to find a reason to turn the heat on. And they all tell me no. So I have 3 against 1. So 3 against 1, I have to just wait until like later in the evening to turn the heat on, because in the winter time, you turn on the heat from morning to the next day. That's a lot of money. Oh, let me read this. I love this contribution.
This one?
Yes. Hey, brother Oseji, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. He said, human nature does not appreciate something until it's gone. My brother, repetition. And it is hard to determine humans' intentions and values.
Emotions, responses to the things and dangerouses. Let's try to separate our emotions from the outcome of events we are engaged.
Do we know this? Will we
awesome.
Awesome. My brother, today is the first day I see you on this platform. Maybe I have missed you a couple times, and I'm a married woman. So if your wife is there, tell her she shouldn't get jealous. But chop kisses, mwah. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's what's up. So I mean, the dysfunctional mindset that we have in our community, and a lot of us, we allow that. It's like we learn this dysfunctional behavior because of the kind of friends we hang out with, people we allow in our circle, people we listen to, people we follow, people we promote, because like we are all friends, right? But like if Sister Amajo says something that I don't agree with her, I'm going to respect her opinion, but I'm also going to put in my opinion and my understanding in a respectful manner. And at the end of the day, we both got our opinion and our understanding in. So someone listening or someone watching us can evaluate and figure out which one of them helped them. Because like sometimes I don't understand. Some people will fight to the teeth. Be like,
this is that you are saying. Do we know how to agree to disagree, Mpo?
That's the problem. Because you know what? Somebody will tell you.
Exactly.
They bring the fight to you.
Whether you like them or not, they come.
It's a problem.
There is one of our sisters called Sister Mandy. Sister Mandy will normally say we agree to disagree. And anytime I get to her stage, I say, what's up, Mandy? What are we agreeing and disagreeing on? Because I try so hard to disagree with her, just for people to know that it's okay, it's fine. Because I realize that it's something that our people we don't. I was like, I am not.
We take it personally.
You don't hate me for it, but we have taken it so. And I go like, where did we go wrong? It's something that bothers me. So with Mandy alone, I just intentionally do that, just for people to understand that I don't have to be on the same page with you, and that is fine. I'm a human. You are human. It's fine.
Emotional intelligence. So this gentleman that Amma Manson does used to do these programs with Mr. James Addison. He's written a book on emotional intelligence. It's like they are training people in the system. But I think we all need to get those kind of books to read and deprogram and reprogram. Because that's what we lack.
As far as we have come, and especially those of us on this social media talking and all that, if I see how some of them would take things simply because they say how they make a big deal out of it, I'm going, what is it?
Yeah.
I am me, you are you. It's fine. But it's that alone most of us have to work on because it's not good at all.
Miss Tama, listen. One thing I have learned about our people, right? We like to copycat other people. We like to compete with other people. We like to compare with other people. Somebody might be sitting in a good marriage, but then they're looking at somebody else's marriage and they messed up their own marriage because they always say, oh, but I see Brother Kwesi doing this for her, for his wife. And they say, you know what? I don't know Brother Kwesi. I don't care if Brother Kwesi is carrying his wife on his head. How is that your husband or your wife problem? Oh, I see Brother Kofi's wife is always, buying him stuff. Who give a crap? Be real, right? And the word emotional intelligence, I talk about it a lot because people with emotional intelligence, they are proactive.
Oh, yeah.
Before they speak, they think first. Reactive people, they speak and do things, and then after it blows up in their face, then they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I should have waited. You can't go back and change it. Okay,
it's already done.
Exactly. So like some people will hear the word emotional intelligence, they will use the word emotional intelligence just to flavor their vocabulary words, but they truly do not understand the word itself, what it stands for. Everything that you do before you speak, assess things. Make sure you have clear understanding what you're speaking about or what the other person is speaking about. One do not have to put themselves on everybody's level in order for you to agree with that person. And also, you might say something, Sister Ya might say something that I'm not fully agreed. But at least I need to ask questions, throw questions to you guys for me to get more understanding from where you coming from, right? So this way, I might learn something from both your point of view. But most of us don't do that. Have anyone seen in Ghanaian people doing debate? That debate is going to end up with somebody throwing their phone, somebody throwing a book, somebody calling somebody their mother's whatever, somebody cursing somebody's whole family. We cannot even
all this stems from the fact that it's the basic problem. We don't know who we are. We don't love ourselves. So it shows up in all our relationships, period.
That's right.
How do we go back and correct that? We have this unwillingness to change things. Some are, some are not. So you just agree to leave them alone and you carry on with your journey. But unfortunately, as you are carrying on in this journey of rediscovering yourself, learning to love yourself. Look, I was telling Amajo that there's this lady I know in Ghana, MFA. She's doing a master class in Ghana on Saturday, and it's called Loving Yourself Extravagantly. And I'm going because whatever stage of life that you're at, you need to become better and better. There's certain things that I've seen that now I know, oh, no, this is not me. This is not working for me. But how many of us are invested or have this vested interest to become better? And you are becoming better for yourself, for you. Because at the end of the day, all you have is you.
Yeah. We have given up
without
without
going
going.
even before the fire so far.
I'm telling you, we like to start a fire, but we can't put the fire out.
No.
Auntie, I think we overpass our time. I just want to be quickly and go. I'll pick
Yes,
my
yes.
last word.
No?
There
Okay,
is this,
let's wrap
there
up.
is this, there is this book that we normally read. I think I was just trying to force it to come back, and I think what I remember was, in all things, look into yourself first. You have all things and you never like. I think those were the first 2 pages. That it's continue and continue, but that is the part I remember. In all things, you look into yourself first. So before you can love, you have to love yourself first.
Yes.
Let's try and do that.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Hand out to you, sis.
Yes, and we'll say our final comments. Thank you, Amajo. Have a good night.
Sama. Mm-hmm.
So, because we're saying that,
had to do with it. Hey,
yes.
Sister,
Well, because I figured say Valentine's Day is coming, and all we are thinking, oh, love this, oh, love na me kunu me say, na me iri me say. That's all very well. It's nice, but how well do we love ourselves? It seems like we've overhyped the love, no, but we are not paying attention to yourself. There are a lot of people who are giving and giving and giving, and they are not getting anything back, and they are just hurting. You need to grow yourself first. You need to love yourself. Look at yourself. If you don't, you only give what you have. You have to love yourself enough. You have to love yourself enough before you are able to give to somebody. And if you are the type of person who's just giving away, then it seems like you are lost in the equation, or you feel that you have to pacify people, like beg for love. And that one is a no. So, and we were talking, the reason I talked about this particular, I said to Amajo, what about the young girls? As the older women, we're putting up with so much stuff. And we're teaching these young, is that what we want them to learn? So you have to, if you have daughters, you have to teach them to stand on their own 2 feet, value themselves, love themselves, because what you bring to the table is what will hold you in your relationship. If you have nothing to offer, the man knows, or also Jimmy will bluff you, do all kinds of things. No, you have to be healthy. Honor yourself and bring yourself to the table. That person has to see that you are valuable, and you have to see them that they are valuable. It's a 2-way street. It's not this cultural thing that, like Amajo was saying, in marriage, they tell you, oh, she was watching marriage counseling in her household compound, and it's the advice seemed to be for all the women all the time. But what about the men? So we need to, for as long, let's look around us. Things have happened. COVID, people have died. Last Sunday on this platform, I was saying that I had lost 2 classmates in 3 weeks. There was a guy, 2 ladies are gone. There was a guy that I was thinking about. I said, I'm going to ask on the platform where he is the next day. I tend to, like, some people are silent and some are active. So that day that I said I was going to ask, the next day when I looked on the platform, they said he was gone.
What?
Yes. And what I'm trying to say is this. You have breath in you. You have life. Don't sit there and let somebody, because you are chasing after somebody to love you, or you don't love yourself. You are in relationships or friendships with people that are not benefiting you. Don't be afraid to take a look at yourself. Step back and say, why am I feeling this way? Who am I? Go on that journey. You came to the world alone. You met your siblings, you met your family, you met your mom, dad, then you met your husband, your friends, but you came alone. And likely you'll be going alone. So you need to look, if you are healthy, then you enjoy a better life. That's all that I'm trying to say. So Ajoado, your final comment.
My final comment is that when it comes to love, right? My favorite words, love comes with understanding, patience, giving time, spending quality time, learning to support, compromising, being loyal,
Yes.
being understanding, not pressuring your partner to do things that they are incapable of doing. Love comes with a lot of responsibility, being committed to yourself and to your partner at all times. Love does not select. It's not selective. You don't pick and choose when you're going to love someone and when you're not going to love someone. When your partner does wrong, you hold them accountable for their action, not because of how they were raised, because then you enabling them to do the things that they're not supposed to be doing. Love is something, it's a feeling within. And one does not need to say, I love you, in order for you to know that the person loves you. It's through their action. You're going to know this person really, truly loves me the way that I am. Love overall is you accepting your whole existence. Stop complaining about your nose, your forehead, your eyebrow, your mouth, your cheek, your chin, your arm, your neck. Like, stop complaining about parts of your body. Stop complaining about your complexion. You have to accept you as you are, because when you don't accept yourself and you trying to be someone else, or you try to bleach yourself, guess what? Other people going to come and go. You're going to continue. You're going to spend the rest of your life chasing love. I sometimes, like, when I say foolish, I mean the word foolish, because when it comes, like, if you go in the dictionary and look for the meaning of foolish, you will know why I use that word a lot, because you see unwise, unintelligent, and then of course stupid is in there, idiotic is in there. So, like, there are some things that we have people do, but they don't want to take accountability for it because they're going to blame it on somebody. We have we have a group of people who are enablers. We have a group of people who are double standards. They jump here when it's cold here. When it gets hot, they move to the other cold spot. We have those who will blame and give excuses and reasons. We shouldn't be able to accept that. We need to ask more questions and learn new things, accept new things, like respect ourselves and respect our partners and people around us. And if someone disagree with you, or someone is not speaking your mind, speak your mind in a respectful manner, because those who result in insult are people who lack of emotional intelligence and knowledge, because they don't know anything to say there. So the only thing they can say is to be disrespectful and to turn the person off. But if you have met someone who knows how to debate, believe me, you can insult and do whatever. The person is still going to school you. Right? So we need to truly understand love before we get into relationships and marriages, because if you don't know what love is and you don't have any for yourself, don't have a partner. Be single, because it's not going to help. You're going to go in and come out and fall into another.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Me on.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. One love always.
Yes. Thank you all for coming. Nakose, Mamle, Osaji, Miss Sage, and whoever else comes after. We hope that you'll take something from what we've just been discussing. And also remember to leave us a review on our page. Thank you. We'll be back on Saturday. We have our lives on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is Practical Christianity. And on Sunday, the girls and I, Sassy Girls, will be back to treat a topic from my second book, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. Thank you ever so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.